Hello, in this video we're going to be looking at simple interest. So the objective here is to calculate interest and final amounts using simple interest. So the key idea, interest is when money grows over time. When interest is simple, it grows by the same amount each year. So here's an example, £500 is invested at 6% simple interest. Find the amount after 6 years. So what I'm going to do to work this out is I'm going to work out the amount of interest per year. So the interest rate is 6% and it's simple interest, which means it's 6% of the original every single year. So firstly, I need to work out what 6% of 500 is. So to work that out, I could do 0.06 times 500 and that gives me 30. So that tells us that the investment grows by £30 every year. So if I want to find the amount invested after 6 years, I'm going to do 30 times 6, that gives me 180. And that tells us after 6 years, the investment grows by £180 and we therefore have 500 plus £180, which is £680. So the answer to this question is £680. Here's another example. So £800 is invested at 5% simple interest. Find the amount after 3 years. So it's invested at 5% simple interest, which means the money grows by 5% of the original every year. So we need to work out 5% of the original. So that's 5% of 800. So what I could do here, I could work out 10% by dividing by 10, and half of 10% is 5%. If I do that, I get 5% is equal to 40. So I want to find the amount invested after 3 years. So it's growing by £40 per year. So I'm going to do 40 times 3, that's 120. So by the end of the 3 years, it's going to have grown by £120. So I'm going to end up with 800 plus 120, which is £920. Here's another example. So £1,500 is invested at 4% simple interest. Find the amount after 18 months. So I need to work out 4% of 1,500. So I could work out 1% by dividing by 100. So that's going to be 15. So 4% is therefore 1% times 4. So that's £60. So that tells us that it grows by £60 per year. So 18 months is 1.5 years, so a year and a half. So it's going to increase by £60 in the first year. And then in the next half of the year, it's going to increase by £30. So in total, our money is going to increase by £90. So after 18 months, we gain £90. And so we therefore have £1,590 in total. This question here, £2,400 is invested at 3% simple interest for 5 years. Find the total amount of interest. So this time we're just looking at how much interest we have. So we start off by working out 3.5% of 2,400. So to do this, I'm going to do 3.5 divided by 100 to work out the multiplier. So that's going to be 0.035. And I'm going to times that by 2,400 and that's going to give us £84. So that means it's growing by £84 each year. So after 5 years, it's going to be 84 times 5, which is going to be £420. So that means after 5 years, we have gained £420 in interest. And so the amount of interest is simply £420. And that's the answer to that question. So here are some quickfire practice questions on this topic. Pause the video, have a go at these, and I'll reveal the answers in a moment. Okay, so well done if you managed to have a go at those. So here are the answers, and that's everything for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video. Bye!